And welcome back to Who Would Win. Starting Monday off, we have from Anthony Dahl, who asked the question, and it was Anthony Dahl who gave me the suggestion, wasn't it? Let me see here now. Yes, it was. Anthony asked me the question, who would win in a fight? Cell from Dragon Ball Z, and I'm guessing you meant Perfect Cell, versus Doomsday from DC Universe. So, to understand this, we have to understand the opponents we have in this fight. Now, I don't believe I've actually had Doomsday in a who would win that I've done. No, I take it back. I had him in one who would win. I had him in against when I had pit him against Apocalypse. Doomsday, essentially, for those of you who don't know, or for those of you that need my understanding of why I think he'd either win or lose, was a child that was created by a scientist on, I believe it was ancient Krypton. And he was sent into the wild, and he was killed. And then he was recloned. And whenever he was recloned, he would be immune to the thing that killed him. So it continually happened over and over and over and over again until the perfect life form was pretty much created. That life form then turned against its creator, and yeah, then you have Doomsday. Now Doomsday, right when he was introduced, Doomsday was strong enough, albeit Superman was weakened, to put in a healing coma, Superman. He went toe-to-toe with Superman, a weaker Superman, mind you, but nonetheless Superman, and killed him for all intent and purposes. He wasn't truly dead, but he was dead as far as we knew at the time. This is a being, and then as he was defeated later on, he would come back stronger than before and kill Domino. You only want me in there because I'm talking on the computer. No, then I'm going to go in there and she takes a crap on the floor, probably. Sorry, butterscotch. So, yeah, as he came back more and more, he became stronger and stronger and stronger. Like, next time him and Superman fought, Superman was a ton stronger, but he couldn't beat Doomsday with pure blunt force trauma anymore because Doomsday had evolved past that. Doomsday became so powerful that at some of his strongest points, he punched his way out of a separate dimension. He punched his way out of the Phantom Zone. He, his blood, his just being around, his presence could make the seas boil, play things along those lines. He was fast enough to tag the Flash. He can spurt those bone spikes out of him, which apparently are laced with poison. He's got a massive regenerative capability. Theoretically speaking, he has the strength to destroy a planet. He tanked Darkseid's Omega Beams. Eventually, what they had to do was, I didn't actually read the comic. This is partly coming from Deathbow when they did him and Hulk. Is what they did is they sent it to the end of time, and he was pretty much erased after that point. So Doomsday is no joke, but Doomsday is not invulnerable. He's not particularly intelligent. He actually doesn't possess a brain. He possesses no blood, brain, or anything like that. If it were something that would have gotten him killed, he has lost it. He has nothing but pure muscle and power and strength and everything like that. But because of that, you can outwit him. You can outthink him pretty easily. Also, that being said, Doomsday can become immune to whatever killed him. But there's got to be something left of him to regenerate from, to resurrect. If you could theoretically incinerate him to nothing, like just turn into ash and nothing, like basically no living tissue from him, then you theoretically could bypass his regenerative capabilities, his ability to resurrect. Likewise, if you could theoretically, and I'm not going to spoil something for another thing, but if you could rewrite the codes in his DNA that allow him to do that, that allow him to heal, regenerate, and resurrect, if you could rewrite his DNA, you could take that power away from him. Also, he's not immune to mysticism or anything like that, so theoretically magic could bind him or whatever. But it had to be some seriously powerful magic. Like, you're talking about, like, deity-level magic. Like, Dr. Fate could theoretically keep him at bay, but he couldn't stop him for a long time. So, yeah, there's Doomsday. Cell is a biomechanical, technically he's an android, but he's a biomechanical organism that was developed by the Red Army Dr. Gero in an effort to kill Son Goku. Now, he had also developed Android 18 and 17, as well as 16, which, whatever, to try to do that as well. But if they somehow were to fail, wouldn't that be enough? He also developed a contingency with Cell, who could absorb the two androids to create his perfect form. In just his base form, which was insect-like, and we all know, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, you know what he looks like, but he had like a long crest, two long crests, kind of insect-like tail that he used to He drinks people. Yeah, he does that. Then we absorbed 18. He became more humanoid in appearance, kind of, but he had like giant lips and stuff like this, and talked a bit more. He had definitely a deeper voice. And then he absorbed 17, became his perfect form, which is definitely more humanoid than anything else. He's still got his tail, but he keeps that tucked in the back because he doesn't really need it at this point. And he's got wings. Not that he needs those to fly. He doesn't actually use those. And he's got his crest, but he looks more humanoid than anything else. The thing about Cell is he is composed of all the organic material, all the DNA of pretty much all the Z fighters, and even a couple others, like Vegeta's in there, Frieza's cells are in there, so he has access to every one of their techniques, including the Masenko, the Kamehameha, the Special Beam Cannon, or the Masapeko, Masa Campel, or something like that. Anyway, the Special Beam Cannon, as it's called. Krillin's Destructo Disc. Yamcha's weird energy thing. Solar Flare from Tien. Multiform Technique from Tien. Frieza's tracking discs. He can probably use the Death Beam as well. So he has every one. The Gallic Gun. So he has the Final Flash, probably. He has every one of their techniques in him. I think the only one he doesn't have is the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. Those are the only ones he does not have. At least as far as we know, he never showed that he knew those techniques. Because if Cell knew Kaioken, oh dear God, they would have been screwed. Because if Cell knew Kaioken, and I'm going to go on a little tangent just for like a minute here. If Cell knew Kaioken, now understand this. The reason it said that Goku couldn't, I think they explained it in Super, that Goku couldn't use the Kaioken in Super Saiyan form, not counting that filler in the other world tournament, that's filler, that doesn't count, is because Super Saiyan's volatile in its nature. Even when you perfect it, it's volatile in its nature. So you add the just rapid multipliers of Kaioken, which already strains the body. With the normal Kaioken puts strain in the body. The higher you go, the bigger strain. They pretty much blow themselves up. Cell technically doesn't. Cell doesn't have the strain on his body that Super Saiyan form, supposedly anyway, that Super Saiyan form puts on you, and he's more durable because of his regenerative capabilities. So theoretically speaking, he could just continue doing a Kaioken. If one blew him up, he could just regenerate from that. Theoretically be stronger because of his Saiyan cells that are in there. That's another thing. And I'm not going on a bit of a tangent, but theoretically when Goku blew the top of his head off, that's them theoretically surviving a near-death experience. Why wasn't he stronger after that? He was stronger after he self-destructed, but why wasn't he stronger after that? Lots of things that don't make sense. Anywho, he has access to all those techniques. He is more than capable of blowing a world up on a whim. He could theoretically blow up an entire solar system simply by blowing up a star. He could do it Kid Buu style. The Team 4-Star joked when they were doing the Cell Games prelude, when Yusuke and Kuroba was like, well, I can turn S-Class Spirit Demon into ash. He goes, one blast of my spirit. Go, and which one of you can destroy the planet? Because I can do that with a finger. And yeah, Cell could pretty much do that. Cell was an extremely powerful opponent. And theoretically speaking, because he has Frieza's cells in him, there's a theory out there anyway, but there is a theoretical possibility that he could have, with training, he could have unlocked a golden cell form, or something equivalent to Frieza's golden Frieza form. Probably would have been golden because it's Frieza's cells. So, theoretically speaking, he could have gotten even stronger. In fact, I think they did when they did GT. But we don't like to talk about GT that much. So, yeah, Cell is more than capable of destroying a planet with minimal effort, honestly. He is also capable of massive regeneration, so long as the nucleus in his head exists. He can regenerate continually, no problem. He's also highly proficient fighter, very strong physically speaking, but he's not Doomsday or Goku or Superman level. He's not that level, but he's strong enough. He can move in a blink of an eye. He did end up learning Goku's instant transmission after he took some of Goku's DNA in when he exploded. So he is quite a capable individual. He was one of the strongest opponents the Z fighters ever faced. So I mean, you had that, you had Boo, and then you had Beerus, Goku Black, and then you got everyone in the tournament arc. But when you go by DBZ standards, he was the second tier villain, really, when you think about it in terms of power. I mean, Dabura is technically speaking, supposedly, as strong as Cell was, but that's a different thing entirely. Anyway, who wins in this fight? How does this fight break down? Well, let's say, I don't know. I mean, they don't exist in the same universe, but when these fights happen, let's say they exist in the same universe. Let's say the Cell games are going on. It's like, all right, Goku. Now just all of a sudden, boom. It's like, oh, come on. I just made that ring. I just made that ring. And then Doomsday gets out like, excuse me, Goku, I've got to take care of something. And it's like excuse me, big spiky man. I just spent an entire week, okay, maybe like an hour, making this ring. It took me 17 tries. What do you have to say for yourself? And then just tries to, it's like, oh, I hadn't considered that point. Very good. Now let me retort. And then just blast Doomsday point blank, just boom. Say, now what do you have to say for yourself? Oh, boom, just smashes him, just starts smashing Cell. I was like, oh, okay, buddy. Let's see how you like this. And then just comes in, starts smashing. Now he could probably hurt Doomsday with his physical strength. Like Doomsday would probably at least feel just boom, 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 and then Doomsday like throws spikes at him. So blasting the spikes that way. Doomsday comes in again, just like, oh, now Cell's actually aware this guy's powerful. So just staying out. So he's like, come on, is that the best you got? It's like, oop, now I'm up here. Now what are you going to do? So Doomsday just jumps. I was like, oh, he can do that. Instant transmissions out of the way. Just whoop, whoop. And then just, blasts him down. So now it's like, so it's about Doomsday smoldering in there, but he gets up and is like, oh, you're not going to stay down, are you? We'll try this. And then just appears underneath him, just boom, smashes him up. It's like, let's go for a little fly. Let's go for a little ride. And then just throws him into space and then just blasts him, just, and, blasts him into the sun. And that's the thing. Doomsday is savage, but Doomsday will even take a couple of seconds to, correct himself after he's, been hit pretty hard. Cell would be able to hit hard enough that he could at least daze Doomsday. At least put him whoa, what just happened, kind of, for Doomsday. So that would happen for him. And Cell's very, very intelligent, so he could take advantage of that and then just, blast him up and then kind of just blast him into his sun. And I don't know if I can't recall if Doomsday's ever been fired into the sun. He just kind of would be sitting there incinerating for God knows how long, because he can't fly. As far as I know, Doomsday can't fly. So even if he doesn't die and eventually, becomes immune to the effects of the sun being there, he doesn't have Kryptonian cells in him, as far as I know. So he doesn't get any stronger from that. He would kind of just be stuck on the sun, just perpetually burning until he eventually is immune to that. But he would be stuck on the sun. Maybe he would... Now, theoretically speaking, he might try to punch the sun out. I don't think he's quite that powerful in terms of his raw strength, because we're talking about destroying the Earth with a couple punches, which I think he's capable of doing, and punching a ball of burning gas. Not quite the same thing. So I will give it to Cell, simply because the fact that Cell's got far more tricks up his sleeve could theoretically, with all his power, maybe incinerate him. And even if he doesn't, he could just blast him into the sun. And even if that doesn't kill him, that will at least keep him there quite a lot. That basically ends the fight. So, yeah, I have to give it to Cell. Now, that said, Doomsday could very easily kick Cell's ass in terms of a pure physical brawl. If this fight were to get down to physicality, say Doomsday is able to grab onto Cell at one point and pull a leg off, it's and then he pulls the other leg off, and then just throws him around. Cell might regenerate those, but Doomsday's back on him, starts just stabbing him into the ground with spikes and just kind of nails him. Cell can't move. Maybe he kind of just crucifies him there and beats the ever-loving tar out of him. Yeah, Doomsday would win then. And then Goku could be like, no, bye. He instant transmissions him out of there. So yeah. But Doomsday, unfortunately, what gives Doomsday the majority loss in this fight is the fact that he's dumb. The fact that he's not really... Okay. The fact that he's not he has no real. There have been moments where he's gained like actual sentience, like awareness, but generally speaking, the Doomsday we think about is a mindless beast, more or less. And because of that, he would lose the fight. He would lose the fight because Cell would just figure out a way to outsmart him. Cell's durable enough, it can last long enough, has enough tricks up his sleeves that Doomsday would lose in terms of just pure strategy, overall skill, and all that. So I go 80-20 because there's still that 20% scenario where Doomsday just starts ripping limbs off. Cell's got to regenerate, but he can't get away in time to be like, damn it, He's just going to be perpetually having the crap kicked out of him for God knows how long. And then Goku's like, nope, you're done. Anyway, so yeah, I go 80% Cell, but 20% Doomsday. That would be a hilarious fight to watch, actually. But anyway, let me know if you think different. If you do, that's cool. Put in the comments below. Let me know. As always, you want us to review something, put that in the comments below. I'll get to it at some point. I just who would win Star Wars, Super Magic, What If, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. Don't have any plans for tomorrow. Now that being said, who would win will be up tomorrow. Well, who would win will be up Wednesday. I'll do the who would win tomorrow. Because I got work. Death Battle's up this week, so that means I'm going to do another Death Battle prediction. The spoilers for Return to Dominaria, the next Magic set, are coming out starting on Wednesday, so I'm going to start doing spoiler videos again. This week is Pacific Rim Uprising. Looking forward to that. Dragon Ball Super's final episode is on Saturday, so get ready for that. Box office and What If. So yeah, got a pretty packed week coming up. And then next week is the week of who would win, so get ready for that. Fun as always. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you folks